Hey, thanks for watching my video. If you enjoy this content, please consider subscribing and leaving a like. Every bit of support is greatly appreciated. Now let's get to the video. Virgins beware, you're in for the scare. Welcome everybody to a spooky episode of License to Game, and you know it's spooky because I'm drinking Pepsi out of a skull. I hope you all are ready to shit your britches because this is a very spooky episode, and we are starting this spooky episode off with I am never getting taken seriously. I'm like the Bruce Almighty of virgins. Let's recap. Back a while ago on Twitter, some guy said, hey, listen to this. And then blindsided us by saying it was from Piglet's Big Game. Ha ha ha! No, seriously, what Silent Hill game is this from? Silent Hill 2 remake? Silent Hill F? Did you have a soundtrack to a game announced months after? Wait, you're being serious? That's from Piglet's Big Game? The tie-in game for 2003's Piglet's Big Movie? Not trying to demean the efforts of those who made this, but what the f*** is in this game that need a track like this? Of course, once people started getting their hands on copies of the game, they found out it's unironically a really scary game. Okay, not Resident Evil or Silent Hill scary, but it's pretty much a Resident Evil Silent Hill clone. Actually, fun fact, I heard through the grapevine that the Silent Hill franchise shares a sample pack with this game. So naturally, I'm curious. Why does Piglet have all that ass? Actually, I was having trouble with my controller, so I was just sitting there for 5 minutes trying to figure shit out while Piglet's lumptious Shakira booty invaded my personal space. Ah! Oh my god damn! You know how there's these licensed games based on cartoons that were clearly made for 2D animation first? I never realized how 2D Winnie the Pooh was until I played this game. They look horrifying! Winnie and Piglet get the worst of it though. My dear lord, they look gross. I see why Silent Hill references this game. Let's get into it. I haven't even played anything yet. Oh my god, look at his little waddle. This is our hero, folks. View Disney clips. Yeah, no thanks. Disney lawyers are already gonna have a field day with me for playing this. Look at this diabetes-ass dream. I ain't skinny, but at least my dreams are normal. Save the game. I just started! Oh, hi, Owl. Why are you here? The character animation actually looks pretty good for a 2003 licensed game. Look at this waddling f***. I love him. Oh, look at Pooh's fat ass! How do you get stuck in caramel in your own dream? So far, I gotta say, it's a bit boring, honestly. Yeah, the parallels to Silent Hill are alarming, but it's just Piglet waddling his ass from one place to another. Cheer Piglet up. He looks perfectly fine. Lock the f*** in. Oh, thanks, Slime.
Unfortunately, Piglet was unable to go through this passage. For you see, it was blocked by a mountain of cotton candy.
No shit! Jeez, I know it's cotton candy, but that's soup. That's soup. Why are you buying clothes at the soup store? Okay, what's here? Alright, yeah. That's the scariest goddamn thing that this game could have showed me. Why in God's green hell does it somehow look scarier than the already pretty frightening main character models? Oh god, it's a Heffalump door. Uh-oh, I gotta get the Heffalump over here. Oh my god! Oh, okay, that's kind of lame. Yep, in order to deal with enemies in this game, you just gotta face them and do this shit. Yeah, that's lame. As a matter of fact, the only thing I can truly say is that the gameplay is the weakest part of this game. The Silent Hill vibe is cool, the characters, for as freaky as they are, still feel like the characters. Hell, when we get to Rouge Dream, we actually get to see Tigger. If you thought so low of me to make a dicey joke of what his name sounds like, I'd rather just play this real line he says.
And a Tigger that can't bounce? Why, he's no Tigger at all!
Look at this freaky-ass loading screen. If you just replaced the pig with an Asian woman, you'd have the loading screens for Silent Hill F. But damn, the gameplay itself isn't the most interesting. It's just a regular puzzle game, and it's so damn slow. I wish I could tell you otherwise, but other than shit your pants visuals, it has basically nothing going on. Okay, we do have the request. I still got one more that I'm adding to it, but for now we got Monster House on the PS2. This one makes sense. Monster House is a Halloween movie, so let's check it out. This one came from Supernova. Keep them coming, y'all. Make sure you list the name and the system of the game, and I'll do my best to include it in the next one. As said before, it's based on the 2006 film, so let's take a look here. I love this title screen, yo. Wait, Thou Art Dead? The arcade game from the movie? To play this, we need to collect tokens in this game. Am I gonna like this? We get an opening cutscene that reminds me that the style of the movie looked way better in the movie.
Now I know how taco meat feels.
I'm gonna vom. Okay, oh god, is this the angle we play the entire game as? I hate to judge too quickly, but if you want to believe me, this actually might be the worst part of the game. The game itself essentially has you playing as DJ, Chowder, and Ginny going through the house trying to take it down. I do appreciate them not doing the first half of the movie, but you might think that's a problem. But think of it this way. Monster House's first half takes place outside of the house. Arguably not the most interesting setting for a movie called Monster House. house. This game understood that the most interesting part of the film is the house, so the entire game is exploring the house, and the different settings of each room are different enough. But that camera really fucks us, dude. The combat is pretty damn weak, all things considered. 95% of the enemies are chairs. How many damn chairs are in this house? I'd like to remind you all that Nevercracker actively didn't invite people into his house. Why would he need 500 chairs? Alright, I get it. I ain't want to talk. I had 3 Little Caesar pizzas back to back. My ass be eaten. The combat works in 3 ways. You can soak the enemies with your water gun, which you have unlimited ammo for as long as you reload. While reloading, you also have a melee attack that does jack shit. Look at Jenny's wimpy ass kick. Get away from me, back off! And then you have your secondary ammo that runs out quickly. Okay. Then why is the water the one we have unlimited ammo of? Where are they getting unlimited? Never mind. The camera is so janky and it makes the combat way harder than it needs to be. Every so many rooms you come across some horseshit puzzle. I'm not kidding, there's this room that you gotta move a crate to a ladder, and this is where I noticed that they didn't even try to get a voice actor who could mimic Mitchell Musso's voice. Yeah, these are 2 wildly different voices. And he complained about everything.
Man, what's in this crate?
It's dead white! So I get the crate over there. Mind you, I had to fight sentient chairs number 402 and 403 to get it over there. And what do I find? What do I find? I need a hook that's apparently somewhere else. God damn it! Mitchell Musso! Get your tiny ass legs up that ladder right now. But here's the kicker, right? You wanna know where to get the said hook? You gotta go back to the furnace room where this totally obvious vase is, and you smash it and get the laundry key. Then, you go to the laundry room and open this chest. Then you get the hook. I'm not kidding. After an hour, we finally get our first boss, and she's kind of annoying. I actually died for the first time here.
Everything getting dark.
Yeah, boo-hoo, bitch. Put an ice pack on it, get a grip.
Nice try, monster!
I would not be talking shit if my health looked like that and hers looked like that. This game is just kind of obnoxious. The camera angles are annoying and messes with the combat. Most of the combat is just chairs anyway.
Close, that was close, that was close, that was close.
Hold on. Keep going. A little bit.
Alright, I'm feeling myself. Yo, it's Xander back with a new vid. And don't ask him how it is, cause it's pretty mid. Yeah, and I ain't talking about middle. Bones are brittle, take your girl and she play me like a fiddle. Hey, yeah, we up in the monster house. Gotta avoid those lights and be quiet as a mouse. Yeah, take the crates over here, ain't no slacker. Yeah, these bars getting old just like Mr. Nevercracker. Yeah, and his wife kinda bad too. Run a train up on that bitch, call it choo-choo. Into your girl, I take a dive, then she asks us, "Do you want to be eaten alive?" Yo, Steve Buscemi with the feature. That's the stupidest shit I think I've ever done. I want to stress before we move on, I appreciate the request regardless of what I say about the game. No matter my thoughts, I'll always appreciate someone taking their time to request something. So thank you, Supernova, for the request. It still sucked, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Up next is Tron Evolution. On regular circumstances, this would have waited till November. But there is a new Tron out, so let's take a quick look here. Wait, James recommended this one? Oh, hell yeah. He's the one who suggested Barnyard last episode, and that was really good. Okay, you haven't missed yet, James. Maybe we can go 2-0? So, we get our opening cutscene. Oh, no. I do not like how he looks. Ugh. The Xbox 360 was a weird era. Okay, so we get our first bit of gameplay, and, oh no. The camera is super janky, and it's not the smoothest to control. It looks pretty good for a game released at the time, especially a licensed game. But let's talk about the biggest issue this game has. The gameplay. A lot of it is either combat-based or parkour-based, and neither are smooth in any fashion. The parkour relies heavily on sprinting in these small-ass areas, and it gets so janky to control. I find myself falling down, and every time you die, it does this stupid shit. And yes, every time you die, it plays the same game-stopping tutorials over and over. Just fuck, God, stop grabbing the walls! It gets so janky, and especially with how limited your space is, you just gotta hope and pray you get a perfect line. And let's get to the combat. It's some of the most repetitive shit I've ever done. It's just swinging your disc over and over. And not only does the camera not help in this case, but sometimes I'll throw my disc at nothing. That camera really messes with you. And here's the thing. In combat, you have to keep moving so you're harder to hit. Sure seems easier for them if I am moving. Oh, why'd you oh my God. No, I didn't want you to climb. Why would I want you to climb? I'm so alone. It's not even one of the worst games I've ever played because, come on, but it's one of the most frustrating. I continuously died in stupid ways, and combat wasn't fun enough to keep me going. The one thing I'll give is, for a game released in 2010, it does look good. Damn near matches the movie. And occasionally, I do get a laugh at how awkward some of these cutscenes can be.
Am I still to create the perfect system?
But sadly, It's not good. I'm glad I played it. I mean, it only made sense, and thank you, James, for the request. This is sadly not very good. Up next is Nightmare Before Christmas, Oogie's Revenge for the PS2. This one's from Matthew. I hope I said that right. This is actually a sequel/prequel to the movie. So naturally, I'm curious to see how this works. Let's go on Lukey Games and get us a copy. Guys? $130 for a PS2 game? From Disney, Mr. Squidward, from Disney. No, I don't want to know what possibly could be in this game for it to cost that much. Off the bat, the music and vibe are all on point. Good stuff so far. The combat is pretty much the biggest selling point. If you like Devil May Cry, this is right up your alley. I'll say, Oogie's first boss fight is pretty fun. I gotta be off the perky or something, I don't know what's happening. I died, oh well. What's this? What's this? The Pumpkin King is dead? Okay, let's hope to get away from the luxurious price games, and instead, let's hop over to the PS1 with Muppet Monster Adventure. This one comes from Tazar, here goes the comment. Now, I like the Muppets, and hell, their party game was one of the best I played for my Mario Party clone video. So let's see what's going on with this one. Just gotta get myself a copy. What the fuck? $200 for a PS1 game? I barely could understand the $130 for Oogie's Revenge. Once again, I don't care if this game has gold in it or the disc is made of gold. I don't care. $200 is just stupid money. So let's take a look here with my legal sources and check out the Fumpit Muppets. We get an opening cutscene setting us up. And it turns out for the game we play as, Robin, as he must go on an adventure to save the Muppets using a variety of monster-themed power-ups and abilities to traverse across levels and collect objectives. In its entirety, it's a collectathon, but may I say, it's one of the rare PS1 gems in the category. This was a fun old time. The different abilities are hilarious in their own right. I find it weird that Robin can just turn into these characters.
Waka waka!
This game kind of scared me when I saw Pepe was our guide in this game.
They're bigger than my grandma.
But the platforming mixed with the use of these abilities makes collecting the objectives that much more fun. A lot more love went into this than needed, I'll say that much. Is that the host of Muppets Tonight? I guess this was when they were trying to push that one, so man, that was weird. I must say, an underrated gem from the PS1 days. Muppet games. Who taught you to cook? I find it weird that in my channel's history, I have played 2 Muppets games and they both slap. The level design is on point here. Kinda reminds me of the first Spyro, and when you remind me of the first Spyro, you did something right. It mixes both bright visuals and dark colors to make something really unique. And these transformations range from genuinely fun to what was that? I can't stop it now. It's the Muppet Show with our very special guest star, Diddy. He says hi-ho. Hi-ho, hi-ho. How are you his nephew and you don't know that? I gotta say, I've probably had the most fun playing this one so far. It's incredibly easy to control and has fun levels to go through. If I had to complain at all, maybe the camera can really mess me up, but honestly, it wasn't nearly as bad as something like Tron Evolution or Monster House. It only occasionally screwed me. But yeah, bravo to the team who made this. An underrated gem, what a request. Okay, thankfully we have another game that I can actually talk about and justify the price. Another request from... I've got my eye on you, Dominic. Last time you had the balls to request Wreck-It Ralph on the Wii, let's see what you come up with this time. I'm sure it'll be a fantastic request. Okay, so we got Attack of the Twonkies, a Jimmy Neutron game from the PS2. I played a few Jimmy Neutron games here and there. Back in my childhood, I played Jet Fusion. That one was killer, honestly. I wouldn't mind playing that. Maybe if you want to request it? Nah, man. I might just add myself. Don't waste your request. I've never actually played Attack of the Twonkies, so let's see what it offers. We open up with, oh shit, y'all mind if I praise the Lord? Alright, come on. Fuck, I gotta request the system. Oh shit, y'all mind if I praise the Lord?
I gotta play the game.
Finally got it to work.
You're slipping, Neutron. Real comets have long, pretty tails, not little stumpy ones.
And real girls have eyes that don't look like that. I can already see that this has a lot more production quality than Jet Fusion. Again, it's been a while since I played that one.
Stop talking! You know, the
what? God damn it, it froze again. I am going to play this damn game. Oh shit, y'all mind if I... Nope, I'm getting distracted. Oh my god, it didn't even get past the loading screen without freezing.
And do you know why I am?
Fuck! Okay, finally got past that fuck-ass cutscene. Please, can I play this game?
A comet cometh.
Did I really need a narrator to read me that? I assume most kids who play this can read. I mean, I can clearly see I'm playing a Fairly Odd Parents game. No f***ing way. No chance. Oh my god, I just want to play this stupid game. I have seen this f***ass cutscene more than I've seen my own mother. Oh my god, I'm playing with so many settings here. Please just let me play. So could you call me back? Hello, hello. I'm trying to work this out. Oh my god, am I gonna finally get to play this game? I'm scared to touch anything. Okay, we finally get to play the game. And I gotta say, the entire time, my face was just like this. Dominic. Let's give it up for Dominic. We did it. We did it. He did it. He requested. You actually had a good request this time. I'll give it to you. I don't trust you 100%, but I trust you 60%. We're getting there. Now, if you suggest a Game Mill game next, that shit's going right back down to 0. This is a really well-made platformer, albeit a bit clunky, but it's super fun, the invention stuff is incredibly creative and well put together, especially for a licensed kids game. And its narrator voice is a little too sexy for my taste.
Press the L1 button to do this.
The way the inventions work is that you gotta find different pieces of an invention around the level, but some items are just decoys while others can actually be useful. If you don't know, this is based on the Jimmy Neutron TV special Attack of the Twonkies, where Jimmy goes to Twonkus 3, a comet, and brings home some Twonkies by accident.
You know, the comic?
The game does pretty well as an interesting platformer, but also doesn't come off as overwhelming. That invention thing, it's a tad difficult to get down, but it's still fun to mix and match. There is no real reason for me to have scribble shoes, but I'm glad I have them. I'm gonna draw a dick. That's a decent penis. Oh shit, what does that say? Subscribe to Media Brothers? Aw man, Jimmy, you're a real one. These cutscenes are disgusting, man. I don't like how Carl looks here. It reminds me that he's not even in Jet Fusion. I always found that weird. Oh, shit! I don't want to close my eyes. I don't want to fall asleep because I miss you, Jimmy. And I don't want to miss you, Jimmy. I gotta make this shit. The inventions are really cool, easily the highlight of my experience. I do have a few problems though. Jimmy moves way too slow. He even comments while we're on Twonkus 3 how the comet is unstable. But then he moves like this. Sometimes the solutions are a little dumb. Like when I was trapped in the room with the Twonkies, I assumed I needed to shrink them down into nothing. But no, you just gotta shrink yourself and then squeeze through the door. You give me a shrink ray, I wanna shrink the monsters. Really? These are the horrifying monsters that could scare young viewers? The main characters are more freaky looking. Honestly, despite all my problems with getting the game to work, once I actually played it, I had a blast. Easily one of the better Nickelodeon games I've played. Dominic, you gave me a 7 out of 10 game when your last was a 1 out of 10. That's a huge upgrade, buddy. Keep that up. Alright, we got one DS request from Simply Just Funtastic, and it's Alice in Wonderland on the DS. Now, hearing that title, I assumed that this was somewhere around the lines of a standard platformer, and I sure expected the cover of the game to look more along the lines of the movie poster with the DS logo. So imagine my surprise when the cover looked like this. Yeah, I'm curious. I might be in the minority here, but I really liked Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland. It wasn't just the original Disney movie with an RTX setting, it was the director's take on the film, and Burton's one of the few to bring an original idea to the remake. Well, let's see what the big deal is. Off the rip, I love the style of this game. D-Gamer? What the hell is that? Apparently it was a social network from Disney primarily on the DS. Interesting. So this game has an interesting puzzle-solving mechanic, and it's honestly really cool. You play as McTwisp, and Alice follows you around. You go through painfully slow areas to get puzzle pieces together to get certain doors to other areas to work. You explore the levels and only sometimes engage in combat with small enemies and sometimes the Red Knights who try to capture Alice. The style of the characters is so unique and fun. And there's another element to the puzzle stuff where you can fast forward, pause, or even rewind time to open up paths and reveal collectibles. Dude, this is cool, but it doesn't come without flaws. Sadly, Alice is a blonde. Like, duh, but she's really stupid. Look at this shit. I went down this path so we could go to the door, but Alice just goes right back up the other path. Alice, with your dumb ass. Stupid. And she just runs right into the Red Knight's arms. Jesus Christ. Overall, the levels are fine, but not the most fun to go through. Our characters move so slow that it kinda gets boring to go back and forth. On top of that, the combat really isn't anything too special. All it is swiping down with your stylus, and I guess that's pretty cool, but it's nothing I really would write home about. Though it does give one of the funniest animations in this game. I gotta say, it's nothing like what I was expecting. I love the puzzle solving, and I like that it doesn't look like the movie at all. As a matter of fact, it being called Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland is a real lie. It takes its own personality, and I kinda like that. Thanks again for the request. Alright, next up we got my final edition for this, the Ghostbusters the Game. Now picture this, it's the 2000s. No! The popular Ghostbusters franchise has kinda died down a bit. The third movie was in and out of development for a while, and we didn't get anything from Ghostbusters. And then this game came out. And if you want to believe me, this game has the original film's writers, the cast came back. It felt like the closest thing we'd get to Ghostbusters 3. No! So let's play the remastered version. I originally had the Xbox 360 version, I remember loving it. I couldn't get past the second level, but I loved it. So now with the remastered version on the PS5, let's check it out. The game puts you in the shoes of a new recruit of the Ghostbusters. And something I always loved is that this is the actual cast and writers of the film coming back. As a matter of fact, since this game initially dropped in 2006, it was one of the last Ghostbusters related things to feature Harold Ramis. And this remaster is actually dedicated to him. This franchise does a lot of things good, but tributes to Harold Ramis gotta be in their top 5. Off the rip with the cutscenes and dialogue from the Ghostbusters, you can tell the original writers came in. You may think the process of actually catching the ghosts you aren't afraid of might prove difficult or complicated, but thankfully, this game's ghost catching is all sorts of chaotic, but once you get it down, it's very easy. The game is so well made with both locations you recognize and a good variety of ghosts to catch. The ghost catching might just be my favorite non-Bill Murray thing in this game. It's so smooth and satisfying to control, and on top of that, all the classics are here. Slimer, Stay Puft, Candelabra, spiders. you know, the classics. As a matter of fact, the entirety of the Stay Puft segment of the game has gone down as one of my favorite segments in the entirety of gaming. Chasing Stay Puft and then Stay Puft chasing you and then you fight him on the roof. It makes you think that it was easy as shooting a boson dart at him, but then there's another segment where you gotta keep him off the wall by shooting more darts and more proton streams at him, and dude, it's not only really well laid out, but still fun. My only real issue is that when you're ghost catching with all the guys there, it can get pretty chaotic. Also more of a personal problem, but the main character looks like me if I was skinnier, and I'm not saying they took my likeness, but I am gonna say lawyer the f*** up. Still, all these years later, the game is a phenomenal license experience. I really hope more Ghostbusters games come out. I mean, the remaster is rather recent, and there have been other Ghostbusters games. Not that it matters, because Sanctum of Slime can never be this masterpiece. But as far as I'm concerned, Ghostbusters the game is a masterpiece. And you know what? F it, it's one of my all-time favorite games. So we're ending off on a very strange request, but I had to include it because of how this person described it. And after doing the research, I think it made sense to include it as the last game for my Halloween edition. So the request asked for a game called Retro Realms. And the way it was described is that it's a pixel art inspired game that includes 2 different games you can get for the bundle or whichever one you want. And the 2 characters that were involved in this game were Michael Myers from Halloween and Ash from Ash vs. the Evil Dead. So to say the least, I was pretty interested, but was worried I wouldn't have the budget to get the game as I also had to spend $30 on Ghostbusters. Thankfully my coworker came in handy, as in I'm going to give him a handy once I get his game back to him. He had a copy for Nintendo Switch, so let's see what the big fuss is about. We load it up and we see an arcade called Retro Realms. We enter and see 2 different arcade cabinets. One for Halloween and one for Ash vs. the Evil Dead. Let's go with Ash first. It's weird that you can play as Michael in this. He has this game, I'm playing as Ash, baby. Groovy. You might look at the gameplay not only from the Evil Dead but the Halloween cabinet and say, $40? And yeah, I think the price point alongside the gameplay being simple might sway you, and I wouldn't blame you. At its simplest, it's a pixel art action game sampling from classic beat-em-ups of the era. You go through the level of enemies as either Ash, Michael, or one of these hoes, I don't know, and you gotta get through without dying. Sounds simple. I want to see much more from this game. It might not be one of the greats, but this is a real lovely game with so much potential behind it. I see these covered cabinets and I assume there's going to be more development, right? Well, that's where it gets weird. Discussions on this game seem to be all over the place. Apparently a year ago, developers Boss Team Games talked about the future of the game, but apparently the game had poor sales due to its initial sale price, so is it getting more DLC in the future? Apparently an idea is to expand with other horror DLC. I mean, think about that. Yeah, we got the classics, Jason, Freddy Krueger, Ghostface. But think about how Ash was one of the first IPs. I like to think like Final Destination, Splatterhouse, Saw. The possibilities are endless. My favorite part wasn't even the gameplay. Those are pretty by the number pixel art games. But the arcade you can explore, unlocking different memorabilia, watching dev videos. This is one of the most loved packaged games out there. I have but one problem, and that is $40 is a little ridiculous. I'd say at least bump it down to 30 or maybe 20. This game's good, but it possibly could have been better if they weren't so pricey for essentially old school beat-em-ups. With a cool hub world, that is. I did take to social media and I actively signed into Twitter just to check out Boss Team's game account, but I couldn't find anything, though they're apparently working on a new Hellraiser game. Honestly, this is what License to Game was made for. To allow me to check out these underground gems that I would never know about if I didn't do this series. This is slowly but surely becoming my second favorite series of mine next to the obvious here. But thank you to Plushpaw for the unique request. It wasn't a masterpiece, but it sure was pretty damn good, and I'm glad I checked it out. And that's it for my spooky Halloween entry of License to Game. Again, if you have a game from your childhood or a game you just find interesting and it has an IP attached to it, go ahead and drop me a comment requesting the game. All I need is the game and the console it was for. If it was for multiple consoles and you want a specific version, please let me know and I'll be more than happy to check it out. I love all your requests and thank you all for another awesome episode, and I'll see you guys next time. Yo, it's Sander back with a new vid, and don't ask him how it is, cause it's pretty mid. Yeah, and I ain't talking about middle, bones are brittle, take your girl and she play me like a fiddle. Hey, yeah, we up in the monster house, gotta avoid those lights and be quiet as a mouse. Yeah, take the crates over here, ain't no slacker. Yeah, these bars getting old just like Mr. Nevercracker. Yeah.
You know, the comic